Welcome back to 40-Day Refresh. Today we're going to continue talking about making your one-year plan happen. We're going to talk about something I call the hero's journey, or the hero's two journeys. Now, as a quick reminder, if you don't have the online course and email series that go with this program, they'll be a big help to you. You can go to danielfoley.net/40-day refresh, the number 40-day refresh. You can get access to those there. But let's talk about the process we've gone through so far. We've identified, hopefully if you've gone through this process with us so far, we've identified your one major project, the one thing you feel God is really calling you to do over the next year. We've identified the success criteria, what needs to be true for that project to be considered a success. We've identified areas for growth internally and externally in our skill sets. We've identified areas where we're going to need help and maybe some people that could help us, make this project happen. We've identified the top 3 priorities and listed out the action steps and put them in the proper sequential order. And then we talked about how to increase our motivation to make this all happen, and what is going to be the reward for making this project happen is the desires of your heart in each of the 7 rooms of our abundant life blueprint: purpose and health, family, finances, order, time, and community. Writing out a description of what you want each of those rooms of your house to be looking like. Then we talked about printing out your plan, praying over it, giving it to God and saying, I commit my plans to you, taking communion over plan, looking at your plan regularly and taking communion over it. And we talked about stirring up your joy and finding joy in the process as you begin to execute and walking out this plan. But one of the things I want you to realize, I wish I would have known this before I started going through this process of walking out my plans with God, is that if you're going to commit to walking out this plan, you need to know that you're going to be on what's called the hero's journey, okay? In Hollywood, I came across some guys talking about Hollywood screenwriting and things like that, and they call it the hero's 2 journeys. What you need to realize is that if you're going to make this plan happen, anytime you see a movie, the hero always starts with some goal in mind. So you've got your one-year plan in mind, this goal that you're trying to get to. And one of the things that happens is you need to realize you're on 2 journeys. An internal one, in that you're going to have to grow as a person to become more consistent, more diligent, more disciplined, more courageous, more humble possibly, to be able to move towards that goal. And we're going to have to grow internally as a person. That's the internal journey. Then there's the external journey of making this thing happen, of doing the work and making this thing happen, interacting with people and relationships and all these types of things that are involved in making this plan happen. So what you need to realize is this: the path that you're going to take for the hero's journey is a journey of courage. It's you being bold and courageous and stepping into becoming the unique person and the unique gifting that God created you to have and to be. It's you stepping into that. So you're going to have to grow as a person to step into that. We're going to have to grow and develop as a person on the inside. But one of the things that's going to happen is as you begin to take this journey, it's going to be a consistent growth. You're going to grow in a straight line right towards your goal as a person. If you start walking this thing out and making it happen, you're going to grow internally at a very accelerated rate from this point. You're going to find that all of a sudden when we get these plans in place, your hunger and thirst for knowledge is going to rapidly increase. It's like you're ravenous for more information. How do I make this thing happen? Okay, that's one of the signs that we're on track. We'll talk more about that later as we move into the next phases. But you're going to be growing internally at a very rapid rate as a person. But the problem is on the outside, it's not going to keep up. So outside, one of the things about light in this world is that gravity makes light bend. Okay, so the path that goes on the outside is actually a lot of times it looks like you're going the wrong way. So when we first get started, you might go okay for a little while, and all of a sudden it's going to look like things turn and start going the wrong direction, but you're still growing at an accelerated rate. So you're like, what's going on? I feel like I'm growing and improving as a person, but the outside world, everything's closing in on me and things are going in the wrong direction. Maybe it's financial pressure, maybe it's relationship pressure, maybe it's a business that's not doing well. Who knows what it is? Something in the outside world is going to start to put some pressure on you. And what that's meant to do is it's going to build patience and character and perseverance in you, because there's going to be a time where you want to quit, probably, okay? And so we're going to have to go through this bending of time, but eventually it's going to start to turn back around. It's going to start to shoot up really quick. So the path through the year, a lot of times is not always the path that we expect it to be. Internally, we're going to be growing at an accelerated rate, but externally, sometimes it looks like things are going the wrong direction for a little while, and then bam, things accelerate back up towards the end of the year, okay? So we got to make sure we understand this hero's journey. It's a journey of courage. It's not going to be, there's going to be some obstacles in your way. There's going to be some things that you have to overcome and to persevere through to make this thing happen. But one of the things to realize, if to build an abundant life, to reach the goals that God has put in place for your life, there's going to be some obstacles and barriers and opposition in your life and things that try to get in your way. And we have to continue to grow internally as a person. We have to continue to persevere through those times when it looks like things are going the wrong way, even though I feel like I'm doing all the right right things and I'm on track with my plan, just keep working the process. Eventually, you keep doing good. The Bible talks about you keep doing good. Eventually, you're going to reap a harvest from it if you keep doing good and you don't quit before you reach the harvest. So we got to continue to press on. But realize if you're going to make this commitment to go for it, you are going to be on the hero's journey. And I want you to be prepared for this process when it starts to happen.